I think it's ridiculous. I think Boeing is doing a little bit of a number. We want Boeing to make a lot of money, but not that much money.
That's President-elect Donald Trump. And if you have Boeing stock, your ears perk up when the President-elect says he wants you to make some money, but not a whole lot of money. Kenneth Moton, ABC News White House correspondent, to talk about the second largest employer in the state of Missouri being called out by the President-elect Donald Trump. Kenneth, thanks for the phone call. Where did all this come from?
McGraw, it appears that it came from, we think, from a report that the president-elect saw where the CEO of Boeing was criticizing his trade policy. You remember just last week, the president-elect talked about a 35% tariff on businesses who do business outside of the U.S. And so we think it came from that. We are trying to get confirmation, but the president-elect and his team have not commented on exactly where he saw this because it appears that it was not at random.
And it came from a tweet sort of out of nowhere, right?
Yeah, so it was cancel the order, is what the president-elect said. He says that Boeing is building a brand new 747 Air Force One for future presidents. That's more than $4 billion. So we did the research. We contacted Boeing, we contacted the Air Force, the Pentagon, and we never got to that $4 billion number. What we got to was a $2.78 billion program for maybe 2 aircraft, possibly 3, and that's how much the Air Force is budgeted.
This original conversation that Dennis Muhlenberg, the head of Boeing, had, was it an article? Was it an op-ed piece? Where did that come from?
It came from an op-ed in the Chicago Tribune, and we think the president-elect saw that. And so what we did a little research and a little background, and it seems that the president-elect seems to randomly tweet, but it appears that it's not at random because we know that he watches cable news. And so for instance, there was a couple weeks ago, you remember that flag burning tweet?
Yes.
Well, the president-elect, it seemed like he, at random, tweeted about flag burning. Well, there was a report on Fox that morning about flag burning, and we think the president-elect saw it. And then within a few minutes, he commented through Twitter about it, which he often does.
That op-ed piece in the Chicago Tribune went into great detail about how Boeing is selling planes all over the world and how that never would have happened back in 1985, showing the benefits of a free and fair trade deal all around the world.
And especially in China. Obviously, they've got some big customers, some big clients. It's Boeing. And they've got Seattle, as you mentioned, Missouri. I mean, they're all over the place. I feel like I turned the corner to some of these airports and there's a Boeing facility. And so that's the comments he made. He obviously can make those. He's the CEO of Boeing. But then the question is, did the president see that? And then was that tweet, which comes with a lot of power. We're coming to the point now where a tweet will have a lot of power because it will come from the Oval Office. And so a lot of people are looking at that. And we have to think about Air Force One. Let's get down to the issue at hand here. Air Force One. It's a critical piece of machinery. I know $4 billion even sounds like a lot, but we're talking about several aircraft, number one. And it has to be a flying White House in the sky, right? It's got to have to withstand a nuclear blast. It has to be able to refuel mid-air. I mean, this is not Southwest Airlines here, guys. This is a piece of equipment that has to have technical requirements that meet the standards of Secret Service and the Air Force.
Now, so we understand here. $4 billion, no one has been able to confirm that number, and you said the most that the Air Force will confirm is $2.7 billion for a number of different planes. And
they actually told us that could go down.
Yeah. Has Boeing said anything since President-elect has called them out?
They haven't, but you better believe there are probably some internal meetings that are happening there. When we called Boeing yesterday, the exact phrase was, hold on, let us find out what's going on. We'll get back to you. I mean, I think they were caught off guard by this as well, even though I think they didn't expect because their Boeing CEO made a statement that was critical. I don't think they expected a critical response from the president-elect.
And I don't even think it was necessarily critical. It was basically an op-ed piece which never mentioned Donald Trump, right? It was just talked about the benefits of free trade.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Kenneth Moton with ABC News following this Boeing controversy. Kenneth, thanks for checking in. Have a good day.
Thanks, McGraw.
656 here, Big 550 KTRS. In terms of full disclosure, I am a fan of Boeing, Boeing has hired me a couple of times to do some emceeing along the way. So,
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
yeah. So everyone is on the up and up. I still believe in disclosing conflicts of interest, and so you can choose and decide how you deal with that information. But unabashed supporter of Boeing. As well as a supporter of St. Louis, and Boeing is a major.
The fact that they're one of the biggest employers.
One of the biggest employers in the region and a great corporate partner throughout the region. 657, Big 550.